Okay, welcome everyone to this Sunday School webinar, and hope you have a great time wherever you are. Maybe it's good morning for someone or good evening for some. Um, if you've never been here before, this is an educational, motivational, inspirational webinar for you so that you can start developing yourself, personal development, and help others to grow and to build business, whatever your aim is, whatever your goal is with this. And these are no long webinars. We usually do around 30 minutes. So you can listen to this in your car, or you can always take time to attend. And yes, I said you can take time because you will never get time. No one will ever get time. Every entrepreneur, every successful entrepreneur in the world, they take time, and they take time for education, because education is the most important thing. Without the education, there wouldn't be no success. So let's get into this, and we welcome all the new people, of course, and all the old people. You can promote this to your team and to have them listen, because there's always an idea, one sentence that could change a people's life, or change your thinking, because that's why we're here, to change the way we think. And I don't mention this, but I have an expression that I love, and that is never take advice from a person who can't take you to the next level. What does that mean? Well, there's a lot of people out there with theories, and they haven't really been there, done it. They read maybe a book or so, or maybe they did a little bit of it, but you got to take advice from people who know exactly how things are to be done, who've done it, empiric knowledge. So that's why mentorship is so important. And I will start today with a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read his books, please do. I don't get paid to promote his books, but they are so good because they are neutral, in any way. Anyone can read them. And they're very fundamental things in his books. The first one is Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a mind, like really an eye opener. And he says, money is important, yet I don't want to spend my life working for it. What does that mean to you? To me, it means a lot of things, but most of all, it tells me that if I have a business where I don't have to work like crazy, um, because I have something called residual income. I have something that I've built up. I have a team of people that trust me. I've built leadership with people. So whatever I do, I know I have my generals ready. Whatever we're going to do, whatever promotion there is, whatever, opportunity. And that is 95% of the population on this planet does not do that, because they have a job. They go to a job. They get paid to stay in a certain area, do a certain thing, and then they go home. So they get paid for their time. So don't sell yourself short. Money is important, but you can have money work for you. How do you say? Well, you got to be smart, you got to be educated, and one of the ways is to be on these webinars. We talk a lot about these things. So today I would start with, you have something ordinary that most people take for granted, and their life just passes through. They will get buried with all the dreams inside of them because they never did anything. And that is, everyone walking on this earth has the capacity for belief. Of the humans, we have the capacity for belief. That means, ladies and gentlemen, that whatever happens, whatever you do, whatever situation you're in, you have the capacity for belief. Write this down. One day it will dawn on you and say, wow, now I understand what Peter Jacobson said back in those days. Capacity for belief is the fundamental of positive mental attitude, for instance. And I will start with that today, so write it down. We'll go through a couple of things here. So, if Robert Kiyosaki, he says he don't want to work his whole life for money. He want money work for him. That means that you have to follow certain principles, certain laws that we're talking about here at these Sunday school webinars. And one of those extraordinary opportunities that we have that most people miss out because they have an ego, and that is mentorship. Some people, they don't want to be told what to do, or I know better, or why is what he's not going to tell me what to do, or but I'm telling you, if you can't be humble enough to let someone deposit into your life, you're not going to be totally successful. You're not. I'm just telling you. You can make a little bit of money. You can maybe, get some material success, but you will not be successful. You will become successful when you're humble enough to let someone deposit what they learned into your life. You put away your ego and you say, okay, I'm willing to listen. So, what does that have to do with anything? Well, a lot of what we're talking about today is going to be your comfort zone. But you need to realize, first of all, that this is a fundamental principle, and that is that we can only live in the now. There is only now. And sometimes, remember we talked about it the other Sunday a little bit more, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this is connecting to the other stuff in the webinar, and that is, some people don't realize they miss out. Listen now carefully. How can you live in any other way than in the now? It's impossible. Even now, when I say now, it's gone. It passed into another now. But some people, they live their life in yesterday's worries, or tomorrow's problems. What happened yesterday has nothing to do with what's happening right now. If you're smart enough to understand that you have the capacity for belief, you can change but nothing will change. You can't change other people. The only one you can change is you. So you got to be focused. You got to be concentrated in your now. Because right now is where the information is coming through the computer of yours, or the phone, or wherever you are listening. And the people who are prepared, the people who have a pen and paper to take notes and they're focused, they will get a lot more out of the webinars than other people. They do other things. They pet their dog, or they go do they have food on the stove, or they do something else while they listen. That's not the way to do it. Anyway, so there's only the now. So you got to learn to take control of the moment. You got to be in control. You got to be focused. You got to be focused on what you're doing. Right now, you're listening to me. Then you got to be focused so you get the most out of this 30 minutes. These 30 minutes have 30 minutes, which contains of 60 seconds in every minute. There's 60 moments times 30 in this webinar. And some people go, "Oh, well, you're just talking and I don't understand." Well, maybe one day you will. So those 60,000 moments a day, that's why it's so important. And you go like, why are you talking about this? I heard you say this before. Well, just hang on, because that's your ego talking. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. There's 60,000 moments of a now a day. There's 60,000 now a day. How many of those do you just waste away by watching some stupid television, or hanging around people who are going nowhere, or just wasting your time with useless stuff? Just think about it. Just think about it. Those 60,000 moments, you will never get them again. When one moment is gone, it's gone. You will never get that same moment again. You got to learn to live in the now. And that's why some people, they get involved, and the project is too much for them because they're not living in the now. So either you run the project or the project run you. What are you talking about now, Peter? Well, I will get to that. So how do you control the moment? How do you control the now? By planning your time. Wow. It's so fundamental. You heard it thousands of times, but now you got a little bit more of an information. So you heard, and you read in books that, if you don't plan your time, or if you don't have a plan, you will end up in someone else's plan. You will fit into someone's plan. Because if you're walking around and you have a plan, and someone asks you, "Hey, do you want to come with me? I'm going to the movies," and you will go, "No, I can't, because I have 3 meetings, and then I got to do some goal setting and gonna take some notes." You have a plan, so you will not fit in someone else's plan. Most people fit into other people's plans. That's why they don't succeed. 95% of the population, they fit in someone else's plan. They don't plan. They can be great people, they're, lovingly and caring, and, some of them, and but they don't have a plan. You got to plan your time. That's the only way to control the now. You got to know exactly what you do this day, today, and then tomorrow, and this week. And you can plan a week ahead, you can plan, a month ahead, you can plan 3 months ahead, because that's the way entrepreneurs plan. So when you have a plan, then you're going to make a plan of action. What's the difference? Well, there's a lot difference. So your plan is a plan of action. Because what does it matter if you have a plan written down and there's no action? What does it matter? People go to seminars, get motivated, go back home and sit in the sofa in front of the television, and they're motivated. Does that help their business? Don't think so. So you got to make a plan of action. Because people who are poor and people who live miserable life, they have a tendency to dwell on the circumstances that they don't want. They think a lot about stuff they don't want, and that's what they're gonna get. Because to think is to create. Why do I mention this? Well, because if 95% of the population in a country are they're not rich, why is it that way? Well, because exactly what I'm saying right here. They have the wrong way of thinking about things. They have not learned. They've not been humble enough to listen, to get someone to mentor them, to deposit into their life. They have an ego, say, nah, that's not for me. And they walk away. Or they go to their church, or they go to their, wherever they can get information, and they listen, but they don't have a plan of action. They listen, they agree, but they don't do anything. So listen now carefully. If you connect what I've been talking about so far, that living in the now, there's no other way, right now, now, now. So because I'm sitting here talking to you, you know what I did first? I planned. You know what I did first? I planned the slides. I planned what to be in the slides. I planned, certain things that I wanted to be in this 30 minutes. I planned where to sit to talk this webinar in front of my computer. I planned, there's a lot of planning, but people take it for granted. And then people don't even listen to 30 minutes of powerful ideas. Everything is an idea. Nothing on this planet exists except if it wasn't for someone had an idea. Ideas are powerful. But the people, they have tendency, because they learned the wrong way of thinking, because they copied the people they grew up with or the people they hang out with, and they dwell on the circumstance. Listen to me now. What is 99% of the news on television? What is that? Is it like, now we're gonna show you 5 minutes of how to change your life and to be positive? No, it's fear. They sell fear. So people will continue to dwell on the circumstances that they don't want, and they will end up exactly there. You gotta shut the television off. You gotta stop listening to the news. You gotta stop reading newspapers and start reading books. They will take you somewhere. Or listen to this webinar, because people are not promoting this enough. Because, yeah, I don't know if it's just ignorance or stupidity, whatever it is. I learned from the best. And one thing I learned that is promotion is everything. There's nothing in this industry without promotion. You got to promote because people need to hear stuff several times before they do it. You got to inspect what you expect. If you expect your team to be on a webinar like this, then you got to inspect. Did you go to the Sunday School web? Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he was talking about? Because action is the only cure for poverty. If Social Security was the cure for poverty, everyone would be rich by now. But that's not the cure. The cure is to change the way people think. Because when they start changing the way they think, they will change the way they act. Most people don't realize that they have a comfort zone. Even extremely successful people have a comfort zone. So when you make your first $1,000 or whatever currency you have, wherever you are, that was you left your comfort zone and you made that money that you never made before. Then you make 10,000. Now you have a new comfort zone. Then you make, because every action that takes to make that sum of money, the money is just a byproduct of what you do and who you are and how you think. So, and then you made some more money. Then you have a new comfort zone. And your ego will trick you to think that you arrived. You will never arrive. What? I will never arrive? No, this is a continuous journey. So you got to understand that the people you work with and yourself, you got to widen your comfort zone. You got to, do stuff that you've never done before. You got to be courage, got to be uh, fearless and do stuff that you've never done before. You got to leave your comfort zone because outside the comfort zone is where all things happen. So if you never heard of the word comfort zone, everyone has one. The extremely poor people, they have a comfort zone, their neighborhood. If they have a job, that's about it. Their neighborhood and their job, you know, and the beer drinking buddies. Someone tells them, hey, come with me. I'm gonna build a business over here. And they go, oh no, no, because they based all their decisions made out of fear because they don't know. And that's the key. We don't know. We don't know. And that's the thing. We shouldn't know. So it's, when do we know? Well, when we first do it, when we leave our comfort zone and we do something that we never done before, then we learn and we understand. Wow, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't all the stuff I made up in my mind. So how do we leave the comfort zone then? Well, setting goals. You gotta aim for something. You gotta, think about things that you want, that you've been, longing for all your life, or, it could be materialistic things, it could be time, it could be serenity, it could be many things. But if you don't set those goals, you probably end up sitting in your comfort zone and nothing will change. That's why 95% of the people don't change. They stay in the comfort zone. Yep. And their belief system tells them that there's free stuff in the world and that, they can win the lottery and then they will be happy and joyous and free. And will not happen because you can't get something for nothing. There's no such thing. You will have it for a while, but you will lose it because if you don't have the information or the education that it needs, to acquire whatever you have or someone give you. That's why Social Security doesn't work. But they will trick people in telling them, I'm not against Social Security. Don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying it won't work. It won't help people. It will help for a short period of time, like in a, but it won't help them. What will help them is if someone take the time and change the way they think. If all you guys put people into this webinar, people would change. But you know what? They think that something else is more important. They think that the bank account is so important. They think that, being out there, being uh, a superstar with all the fling and flang and, all the clothes and stuff that they buy. Do you take that with you when you leave? No, you don't. But the knowledge you will take with you, that no one can take away from you. So, oops, what happened? So, you got to set your goals. You got to make a plan of action. You got to take action. And then you got to tell someone else. I don't know what happened here. There's something wrong with this pictures. So the points were you set goals, you take action. No, you set goals, you make a plan, you take action, you get a result, and you teach someone else. And remember, a commercial jet is out of course 99% of the time. Which doesn't mean that we are out of course, but it tells us that it's okay to be out of course. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to miss out. But as long as you're humble enough to go back and say, hey, I want to go back to the narrow road. Wide is a road, but where the success is, it's narrow. You got to go back. You're humble enough to say, hey, I want to start learning some more stuff. So it's okay to be, of course, it's okay to, miss out as long as you go back. Keep coming back. It works. Because strength is the product of struggle. We need to be, we need to be powerful, full of strength to do stuff. And that is a product of struggle. You need to struggle. You need to do stuff that others don't to achieve what others want. So you got to struggle. It's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. Here it is again. Set your goals, make a plan, take action, reach your goals, teach someone else. And there is not, I do it later. Remember, this is one of the fundamentals I got from my mentor. He told me, there's not an, I do it later. You got to do it now. When are you going to do it? Now. So, because later will never come. There always is another later. And you know who those people are. So when you serve other people, I told you this before, that's when you start the abundance process. But you can't serve other if you don't have something to give. So you gotta first acquire stuff yourself, knowledge, and then you give it away. You teach them the same principles that you learned. So again, strength is a product of struggle. Struggle is part of the deal. And listen now, 20 years from now, you will only be disappointed by the things you didn't do. What does that tell you? You will not be disappointed by the things you did do, even if it failed. So just stop being full of fear. Throw off the pole line, sail away, you know? Start working on your belief system. You have the capacity for belief. And with that, my friends, I will wish you a wonderful rest of your Sunday or whatever you are, whatever day it is, and go out in the world, help people change their lives, and be happy, joyous, and free. Most of all, free. See you next Sunday.